Hello there, and welcome back to International Fathers. I'm your host and your creator, Nelson L. Moody Sr. We are still talking about child custody in the judicial system. You have already heard and seen the terminology, initiating the process of your paperwork, and the date. All those things has brought you to the next step. Once you're in court, something called cross-examination. Since you are representing yourself, you have the same power and authority as an opposing attorney has. Meaning, you, representing yourself, can question all witnesses, and you can talk to the attorney, as well as holding dialogue with the judge, him or herself. Cross-examination, asking questions pertinent to the case. Presenting evidence, presenting facts, and credible witnesses, as well as expert witnesses to the case. But mainly, you can question everyone who takes the stand. We're going to use for the example that comes from my fourth book, A Father's Self-Representation, Hosea 4 and 6, eliminating the middleman, the attorney. This is Master John R. Pineapple. All the names are made up and fictitious. Mr. Cucumber, you may take the stand. State your name and the address for the record. Now, this is Michael L. Cucumber Sr. My name is Mike L. Cucumber Sr. My address is 123 Neptune Circle, Dot, Maryland, 0001. Master Pineapple now says, can you state the place of your employment? Mr. Cucumber, I am the owner of Cucumber Electrical Mechanical Construction Company. Master Pineapple, I see we are here for custody issues surrounding 3 minor children. Mike L. Cucumber Jr., Tanya M. Cucumber, and Nicole T. Cucumber. Is this correct, Mr. Cucumber? Mr. Cucumber, yes, Your Honor, a mutual agreement between the mother and myself. Master Pineapple, counsel, is this correct? Mr. Paul E. Cabbage is the counsel or attorney for the opposing side. Yes, Your Honor, that is correct. Master Pineapple, counsel, would you like to cross-examine? Mr. Cabbage, yes, Your Honor, as he pauses to get his thoughts together. Remember, you have some tricky, sly, sneaky, deceitful, manipulating attorneys out there in family law. Trust me, I know well, firsthand, as in my first 2 books, When a Judge Can't Judge, My Nightmare of the Court System in Baltimore, Maryland, and When a Judge Can't Judge, Part 2, The Conclusion. They're out there, so watch out for them. Mr. Cucumber, I do understand that you and my client, Miss Asparagus, do have a mutual agreement and arrangements for their children. But how will you provide daycare for the youngest child and get her back and forth to daycare? Mr. Cucumber, I am my own boss who owns his own company. I make my own hours. Miss Asparagus and myself already have arrangements worked out in our mutual agreement. Master Pineapple, looking forward to Mr. Cucumber finishes his statement. Counsel, in his opening statements of his employment, Mr. Cucumber told the court he's the owner of his own business, which happens to be Cucumber Electrical Mechanical Construction Company, of which I'm sure you heard. This may be the answer to your question and or doubt about the daycare issue of the youngest child getting to and from daycare. My point would be, if he's the owner of his own construction company, I will want to believe that he can make his own schedule to accommodate the necessary responsibilities and obligations of an already mutual agreement by he and Miss Asparagus as to where the children will reside. Am I correct when I say this, Mr. Cucumber? Mr. Cucumber: that is correct, Your Honor. Master Pineapple: any further questions for Mr. Cucumber, counsel? Mr. Cabbage: no further questions, Your Honor. Master Pineapple: you may step down and go back to your seat, Mr. Cucumber. The clerk: Mr. Asparagus, you may take the stand. Master Pineapple: can you state your name, address, and employment for the record? My name is Denise S. Asparagus. I live at 321 Saturn Place, Soker, Maryland, 0007. I'm a hairstylist who own my own beauty salon. Mr. Cabbage: Miss Asparagus, can you add anything to what was already mentioned in the court thus far? Miss Asparagus: Mr. Cucumber and myself agreed to joint custody of our children, not him having physical custody. Master Pineapple: counsel, it seems we have a conflict, disagreeable circumstances here. Unless either party can produce an affidavit or some type of documents that have been notarized that will support Mr. Cucumber's original statement of the mutual agreement between the two, since he is the plaintiff, this will show where the children will reside on a day-to-day basis. Mr. Cabbage: I don't think there is any type of documents that will support Mr. Cucumber's statements and or his documents for petition of custody. Master Pineapple: let's see. Mr. Cucumber is representing himself, so he does have the privilege to cross-examine and or produce documents that will support his petition and or his statements. Mr. Cucumber, you may cross-examine Mr. Asparagus. Mr. Cucumber: do you recall signing a legal document and having it notarized in support of what you and Mr. Cucumber mutually agreed to in respect to the 3 minor children? Mike L. Cucumber Sr., Mike L. Cucumber Jr., Tanya M. Cucumber, and Nicole T. Cucumber. Mr. Asparagus, looking at the master: I don't recall any such documents Mr. Cucumber is talking about. Mr. Cucumber: Your Honor, this is the document. I'd like to enter it as Exhibit 1. Master Pineapple: it is entered. Allow Mr. Cabbage to see it, then Mr. Asparagus. Master Pineapple: counsel, is that your client's signature? Mr. Cabbage, talking to his client: is this your signature on the document, Mr. Asparagus? Mr. Asparagus answers: yes, this is my signature. Mr. Cabbage: Your Honor, my client says it's her signature on the document. Master Pineapple: I'm going to set dates for the next hearing and maybe we can come to some type of conclusion. Clerk: ask everyone of the best time for them after he or she is available for the court. Now, in this case, ended on a positive and a peaceful note, where no appeal was needed and nothing was drawn out as it could have been. Sometimes the court, when you're going through a situation, it can get nasty and it can get ugly. Now remember, a judge is somebody who don't know you, your child or children's mother, or the children. It's always been my best advice to people who have talked to me over the course of the last 10 years. If you could mutually agree to work everything out between you and your child or children, do it. Include 2 or 3 other neutral people, mutual parties, but try to avoid the court system as much as possible. Once it gets in the court system, it gets nasty. It gets very, very nasty. For someone who don't know you, take that ink pen and make a decision based upon what's presented to him or her, a final conclusion that will affect your life as the father for the rest of your life. So if you can mutually agree, do that. If not, what I have read thus far since the beginning of this segment of child custody, you can use this formula. Some call it a blueprint. A father's self-representation, Hosea 4 and 6, eliminating the middleman, the attorney. Family law attorneys need to always seek the best interest of the child. Not the fathers, not the mothers. I believe that once this is established, children will be better. For the money-hungry attorneys out there in family law, because there are some out there, too many to name and probably too many to count. Focus on the child. Remember what you went to law school for. Remember the example that you set. Remember your integrity, if you remember what the word integrity means. Because your integrity is on the line. However, you may want to one day be a judge. And I guess when you don't use common sense, when you put trickery into it, that may be your way to be a judge. Cross-examination. You and the judge, one-on-one. You and the opposing attorney, one-on-one. You and the defendant, one-on-one. Since you are the plaintiff. Remember, plaintiff is someone that brings a case to court. The one who initiates the paperwork and the process. That's the plaintiff. The defendant is the person who has to answer the plaintiff. Cross-examination. Make sure you do a good job. Speak clearly and concisely. Be about your business and know what you're coming there for. Once again, this is International Fathers. I'm your host and your creator. To find out more information about my books, you may log into my website at www.nelsonlmoodysenior.info. That's NELSONLMOODYSR.info. INFO. You can also visit me on YouTube, International Fathers, one word. Email nelmoody7@yahoo.com. NELMOODY, the number 7@yahoo.com. You can also Google my name. You can see my latest video, The Nelson L. Moody Sr. Story. This video depicts my life in the court system as I sought custody of my son, based upon my first 2 books. A screenplay also follows this. I'm also on Facebook, Mingle City, MySpace, Black Planet. And you can Google my name or search any other video search engines to see my videos. Once again, fathers, call those children. Children, call those fathers. Fathers, hug. Hug those children. And children, hug those fathers. Until next time.